Ever dream of ditching the daily grind, and launching a business where you're the one calling the shots?
Absolutely.
What if you could say goodbye to that 9 to 5 and hello to a venture that brings in, get this, $1 million?
Wow.
And what if I told you it could all start in a single weekend?
That's a bold claim.
It is, right? But that's the promise laid out in $1 Million Weekend.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
This book, by Noah Kagan and Tahl Raz, outlines a 3-step process to launch $1 million business in just 48 hours.
48 hours. Wow.
And in this deep dive, we're going to break down their method, pull out some really surprising strategies, and see if this whole thing really holds up to the hype.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
So are you ready to dive in?
Absolutely. Let's dive in.
Okay, so Kagan and Raz start with this idea of the creator's courage.
The creator's courage, okay.
It's about tapping into that inner drive, and they kick things off with this concept of now W, not how.
And now, not how. Interesting.
And, Kagan embodies this perfectly in his own story.
Okay.
Imagine this. Early in his career, he actually got fired from Facebook.
Wow. From Facebook?
Yeah.
That's got to be a tough one.
You'd think that would be a major setback, right? But instead of letting it derail him, he used it as fuel.
Okay.
He fully embraced this idea of N, no W, not how.
Right.
And just dove headfirst into launching ventures, trying everything from an online sports betting site to, get this, a dodgeball tournament startup.
Dodgeball. Okay, now that's interesting. Talk about a range, right?
That's quite a range.
Yeah. It really speaks to, the power of just experimenting, embracing uncertainty, which honestly I think can be pretty daunting for aspiring entrepreneurs.
Absolutely. And that's where this concept of the freedom number comes in.
Freedom number, okay.
This is huge because what if you could achieve, financial freedom with a specific attainable income goal? Kagan says that's the power of the freedom number. It's about defining that realistic monthly revenue target that allows you to ditch that 9 to 5 and pursue your passions.
I love that. I mean, it's such a clear, tangible goal to work towards, something that feels within reach, which honestly is so important for that initial motivation, right?
Yeah, it's not about waiting for some distant dream. It's about taking action.
Exactly.
And for Kagan, his own freedom number was $3,000 a month.
$3,000, okay.
Enough to cover those essential expenses and have that breathing room to experiment without being chained to a traditional job.
Right. Makes sense.
And to solidify this whole action-oriented mindset, he actually throws down a challenge.
Okay, listen.
He says, ask someone you respect for a business idea.
Interesting.
And here's the kicker. Start working on it immediately.
Whoa, hold on. Immediately. Like, no overthinking it.
Nope. No overthinking, no waiting for that perfect moment. Just pure, unadulterated action.
That's intense.
Yeah.
But I kind of like it. Yeah. It's about diving in head first, even before you feel like you're 100% ready, right?
Absolutely. And, a huge part of that is overcoming the fear of asking for what you want, which is a recurring theme in the book.
Okay. It makes sense, but easier said than done for a lot of people, right?
Oh, absolutely. And, Kagan actually learned this from his father.
Okay. How so?
His dad was a copier salesman.
Okay.
So he faced rejection on a daily basis.
I can imagine, yeah.
And his dad didn't just tolerate rejection, he embraced it.
Wow.
He actually set weekly rejection goals.
Rejection goals, that's a new one.
I know. He aimed for 100 no's because he knew that within those rejections, there were hidden gems of opportunity.
That's such a powerful reframe, right? It's like shifting your perspective from a fear of failure to understanding that rejection is just part of the process.
Exactly. And that leads to what Kagan calls the unlimited upside of asking.
Okay, I like that.
He argues that the downside is minimal, right? Maybe a little awkwardness, a simple no, but the potential upside of a yes, limitless.
I see what he's getting at. It's about recognizing that the act of asking has value in itself, right?
Exactly.
Regardless of the outcome, like it builds confidence, develops resilience, it opens doors that might have stayed shut otherwise.
Exactly. So how do we flex those asking muscles?
Well, that's the question, isn't it?
Kagan introduces this brilliantly simple exercise called the coffee challenge.
The coffee challenge. Okay, lay it on me.
It's as simple as it sounds. The next time you're at a coffee shop, order your usual, then muster up that creator's courage and simply ask for a 10% discount.
Okay, so simple. But I can already feel myself getting nervous just thinking about it.
Right.
But it's such a low-stakes way to practice asking for what you want.
And the beauty of it is it's not even about the discount itself.
Right.
It's about pushing past that initial fear of rejection, realizing that even if you get a no, the world doesn't end.
Right, and who knows, you might be surprised by how often you get a yes.
Absolutely. Kagan shares stories of people who've used the coffee challenge to unlock amazing opportunities.
Oh, really? Like what?
Well, there's Dieter. He used it to gain the confidence to secure sponsorships for his biking business.
Wow.
And then there's Jennifer, who actually overcame her shyness and built this thriving cookie business that brings in $1,000 a month.
Get out of here from a coffee discount.
All because she dared to ask.
That's amazing.
It's about building that momentum, right?
Right.
Speaking of momentum, let's move on to the next part of Kagan's $1 Million Weekend framework.
Okay, let's do it.
We're going to uncover his secrets for generating those $1 million ideas.
Now we're talking. I'm ready.
Sure.
All right, so we've tapped into our inner creator's courage, and we're ready to take action.
Right.
But where do those $1 million ideas actually come from?
That's the $1 million question, isn't it? Well, in part 2 of $1 Million Weekend, Kagan and Raz dive into exactly that.
Okay.
They're helping us uncover those golden opportunities.
Okay, I'm listening.
They start with this concept called the zone of influence, which is all about looking inward for inspiration.
Interesting. So instead of searching for some groundbreaking, never-before-seen idea, we should be looking at our own lives, our networks, our passions.
Exactly.
It's about identifying those pain points or unmet needs within our existing circles.
Precisely.
And leveraging our unique knowledge and experiences to create solutions.
And if you're still feeling stuck, he offers another clever strategy. Look to the bestsellers.
Okay, tell me more.
Not just any bestsellers, though. He specifically points to platforms like Amazon and suggests diving into the world of popular products.
I'm starting to see where this is going. Are we talking about tapping into existing markets?
You got it.
That's a brilliant approach. It removes the guesswork of market validation and allows you to focus on creating value for an audience that's already out there.
Exactly.
And if all that fails and you're still drawing a blank on the idea front, Kagan recommends exploring online marketplaces and communities.
Yes.
Makes sense. It's like conducting live market research, seeing firsthand what people are struggling with.
He advises paying close attention to the questions people are asking, the problems they're trying to solve, and the solutions they're desperately seeking. Those conversations can be gold mines for uncovering viable business ideas.
It's about tapping into the collective wisdom of the crowd and identifying those unmet needs that are ripe for disruption.
And once you have a potential $1 million idea brewing, Kagan introduces a tool that helps you quickly assess its viability, the 1-minute business model.
The name itself is intriguing. It sounds like a refreshingly simple approach in a world of complex business plans. How does it work?
It's all about focusing on the core driver of any successful business profit.
Okay, I'm listening.
And it boils down to a simple equation. Revenue minus cost equals profit.
So it's about getting straight to the heart of the matter.
Exactly.
No need to get bogged down in elaborate spreadsheets and financial projections at this stage.
He encourages entrepreneurs to do some quick back-of-the-napkin calculations to determine if their idea has the potential to generate significant profit.
Could you give us an example of how this would work in practice?
Absolutely. Let's say you're passionate about handmade jewelry and you're thinking about selling your creations online. Using the 1-minute business model, you would first estimate your selling price, let's say $50 per piece. Then you'd factor in your costs, materials, packaging, online platform fees. Let's assume that comes to $15 per piece. That leaves you with a profit of $35 per piece.
So to hit that $1 million mark, you'd need to sell roughly 28,500 pieces. It helps you visualize the scale needed to achieve your financial goals.
Exactly. Now, what if your initial calculations show that you'd need to sell millions of units to hit your target? Kagan emphasizes the importance of pivoting.
It's about being adaptable.
Yeah.
Right? Realizing that your initial idea might need some tweaking or a complete overhaul based on those early assessments.
You nailed it.
Okay, I'm listening.
Kagan shares a great anecdote from his own entrepreneurial journey. He initially wanted to launch a subscription service selling beef jerky for $20 a month. But after crunching the numbers and getting some feedback, he realized that targeting offices with a slightly higher price point would be far more profitable.
So he pivoted from individual customers to a B2B model, tapping into a market with potentially larger orders and recurring revenue.
Exactly.
And he gave a couple more examples of successful pivots in the book, like AppSumo, which started by selling bundled software, but found greater success by offering individual deals. And then there's Gambit, which began with a focus on sports games on Facebook, but ultimately hit it big with a payment system for social games.
Absolutely.
These examples highlight the importance of flexibility and a willingness to adapt based on market feedback and real-world data.
And speaking of real-world data, once you've got your potentially million-dollar idea and you've crunched the numbers, it's time for the next crucial step: validation.
This is where we move beyond theory and see if there's actual demand for our product or service.
Exactly. Kagan suggests 3 primary methods for validating your idea: direct pre-selling, marketplaces, and landing pages.
So it's about testing the waters before diving in head first.
You got it. And for the first method, direct pre-selling, Kagan advises going straight to your Dream 10.
Who is a Dream 10 exactly?
Your inner circle.
Okay.
Friends, family members, former colleagues, anyone you trust and whose opinions you value.
It's about getting honest feedback from people who know you and your work, who can provide valuable insights and support in those early stages.
And he doesn't just recommend sharing your idea with them, he suggests actually going for the close. Present your offer and see if they're willing to pull out their wallets.
That's bold, but I can see how it would provide invaluable validation. If people are willing to pay for your product or service before it even exists, you're onto something.
Exactly.
And to increase your chances of getting that pre-sale, Kagan suggests crafting a compelling offer sentence.
Exactly.
So it's about distilling your value proposition down to its essence, making it irresistible.
It should clearly state the price, the benefit, and the time frame. Like, for $50, I'll create a custom logo for your business delivered within 48 hours.
It's concise, it's clear, and it creates a sense of urgency.
Now, if your Dream 10 doesn't align with your target market, Kagan recommends tapping into online marketplaces like Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist.
It's a great way to reach a wider audience and test the waters without investing heavily in marketing or advertising.
And if you want to take your validation efforts a step further, Kagan suggests creating a simple landing page.
A landing page. Doesn't that require some technical know-how?
Not necessarily. There are plenty of user-friendly platforms out there that make it easy to create a basic landing page, even if you have zero coding experience.
What's the main goal of using a landing page for validation?
It's about creating a dedicated space to showcase your offer, collect email addresses, and gauge interest from potential customers.
So you're not necessarily selling anything at this stage, but rather building anticipation and gathering valuable data.
Exactly. Kagan shares the story of Justin from Kettle and Fire, who used a simple landing page and some targeted Bing ads to validate his idea of selling bone broth.
Did it work?
It did. He generated $500 in revenue within 2 weeks simply by gauging interest and securing pre-orders through his landing page.
That's the power of validation.
That's incredible. It proves that you don't need a fully developed product or a massive marketing budget to test the viability of your idea. And that wraps up part 2 of our deep dive into Million Dollar Weekend. We've explored the zone of influence, the power of tapping into existing markets, the 1-minute business model for quick assessments, the importance of pivoting, and the 3 key methods for validating your idea.
It's a fantastic blueprint for going from the initial spark of inspiration to a validated business concept, all within the span of a weekend.
Now, are you ready to shift gears and dive into the final stage of Kagan and Raz's framework, where we'll discover how to transform that validated idea into a sustainable business? Okay, so you've got this $1 million idea.
Right.
You've validated it. You've tested it out.
Uh-huh.
Now what?
Yeah, what's next? How do we actually make this thing fly?
That's the $1 million question, right?
It is.
That's where part 3 of $1 Million Weekend comes in.
Okay.
Kagan and Raz unleash their growth machine playbook.
All right, I like it. Growth machine. Hit me with it.
So first up, Kagan, he comes right out and says social media isn't about making those quick sales.
Okay.
It's about cultivating a community that will support your business for the long haul.
That makes sense.
Right, and that's where this idea of the core circle comes in.
The core circle, okay.
Imagine having this group of dedicated followers who believe in what you're doing and are willing to actually champion your cause.
I mean, everyone wants that, right?
Kagan actually shares a really cool example from his own experience.
Okay, what's that?
It's this thing called Bo Bikes Bama. It was this charity bike ride for Bo Jackson, the, former NFL star.
Right.
And get this, Kagan's audience, they rallied together and raised $30,000.
Wow.
In just 3 days.
Okay, that's awesome.
For this cause.
That's incredible.
Just goes to show you the power of having that committed community behind you.
For sure.
But how do you build that core circle in the first place, right?
Right.
Kagan suggests this really interesting concept called content circles.
Content circles. Okay. What's that all about?
It's basically about tailoring your content to resonate with different segments of your audience.
So you're saying instead of just putting out generic content, you're really thinking about who you're talking to.
Exactly.
Give me an example. How would that actually work?
Let's say you have a house cleaning company, right?
Okay, I'm picturing it.
They could create content for like 3 different circles, right?
Okay.
So you've got your core circle.
Yeah.
Maybe that's people specifically in the Southwest who are interested in like cleaning evaporative coolers.
Right.
Then you've got your medium circle.
Okay.
Maybe those are new homeowners, right?
Makes sense.
Who need tips on choosing the best laundry detergents.
Okay, I like it.
And then you've got your large circle that's families who are looking for advice on like the best vacuums for their needs.
I see. So you're saying you don't need to be everything to everyone.
Right.
But by getting specific with your content, you can really target the right people.
Exactly. And, you know, Kagan doesn't stop there.
Okay.
He also talks about the importance of being transparent about your entrepreneurial journey.
So like sharing the highs and the lows, the wins and the losses.
Exactly. He actually highlights this YouTuber, Ali Abdaal. He built a huge following.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
By sharing these how I videos.
Right.
Giving people a behind-the-scenes look at his own process, his struggles, his triumphs.
I like that. I mean, it makes you relatable.
Exactly. And you know, Kagan, he takes it a step further.
Okay.
He actually encourages you to actively engage with your audience, invite them to be part of your journey.
So it's not just about talking at your audience, but having a conversation, making them feel like they're a part of it.
Exactly. Now, while social media is great for building that community, Kagan, he's a big believer that email is for profit.
Okay, email for profit.
He emphasizes the value of an email list.
Yep.
Because it's yours.
Right.
No algorithm changes. It's direct access to your audience.
It's a direct line to the people who matter most, right?
Exactly. And how do we start building that list?
Right, that's always the question.
Kagan suggests, again, starting with your dream team.
Okay, those close connections.
Those close connections. He also recommends this thing he calls lazy marketing.
Lazy marketing. I like the sound of that. What's that all about?
It's really simple. You're just putting your landing page link in your email signature, your social media bios, any relevant touch point.
So just make it easy for people to find you, right?
Exactly. And then once you've got a little bit of momentum going, you can start using lead magnets.
Lead magnets.
These are basically those valuable free resources, right?
Right.
Like ebooks, checklists, templates, things that your audience will find super valuable.
Okay.
That will encourage them to sign up for your email list.
It's like giving them a little taste of what you have to offer.
Right, exactly.
Entice them to want more.
And you know, Kagan, he's all about that personal touch.
Okay.
He talks about sending a warm, personalized connection email. To each new subscriber, introduce yourself, share your story, and invite them to connect with you on social media.
It's all about building those relationships.
Exactly. And, you know, to stay motivated on this journey, he introduces this concept called the Law of 100.
The Law of 100. Okay. Tell me more.
It's really simple. It's about focusing on completing 100 tasks before you even think about giving up on a project or idea.
I see. So it's about breaking it down into smaller chunks, staying focused.
And beyond those specifics of social media and email marketing, he goes on to unveil his growth machine playbook.
Okay, we're getting to the good stuff here.
And he starts with these 5 key marketing questions.
Okay, I'm ready. Hit me.
First, what is your one goal for the year?
Okay, so starting with the big picture.
You got to have that clear target.
Right.
Second, who exactly is your customer and where can you find them?
Okay, know your audience.
Know your audience, right?
Yep.
Third, what is one marketing activity that you can double down on?
Focus on what works.
Focus on what works, exactly. Fourth, how can you delight your first 100 customers?
Those early adopters are so important.
Absolutely. And finally, if you had to double your business with no money in 30 days, what would you do?
Okay, now we're thinking outside the box. I like it.
And to put those questions into action, he suggests creating what he calls a marketing experiment list.
Interesting.
It's all about testing different strategies.
So you're not just throwing spaghetti at the wall and see what sticks.
Right. He actually shares a really cool example about a guy named Daniel Bliss.
Okay.
He's a rock climber.
Okay.
He started a business selling belay glasses.
Right.
And he tested out all sorts of networking, wholesale, giveaways, Facebook ads.
Trying to find his groove.
And what he learned was that wholesale, that was his golden ticket.
It's about being willing to experiment, but also knowing when to cut your losses and double down on what's working right.
Absolutely. And Kagan also stresses how important customer retention is.
Okay.
It's about going above and beyond for the people who are already supporting you.
Absolutely. Those are the people who are going to be your biggest fans.
He even shares how when he first started his YouTube channel, he'd respond to every single comment.
Wow, that's dedication.
And then at Gambit, when they were making millions of dollars, he still gave his personal phone number to every customer.
That's next level. I mean, that's incredible.
And beyond just the marketing stuff, he dedicates a whole chapter to 52 chances this year.
Okay.
It's all about creating those systems and routines in your life.
So it's about designing a life you love, both personally and professionally.
He encourages you to write down your dream year. Like, get specific. What do you want your year to look like?
Okay, so a clear vision.
A clear vision. Then you organize those dreams into actionable goals.
Right.
And then to hold yourself accountable, he talks about coloring your calendar.
Coloring your calendar. I like it. It's visual.
It's about literally assigning different colors to different activities, different goals, to make sure that you're actually allocating time for what matters most.
So you can see where your time is going, make sure it aligns with your priorities.
And to take it a step further, he recommends a Sunday accountability review.
Okay. What's that?
Connect with a friend, a mentor.
Okay.
Review your progress for the week, celebrate the wins, and figure out what you can improve on.
I love that. Having that accountability buddy can be a game changer.
Now, to help you expand your network, he talks about prefluencers.
Prefluencers, that's a new one. Who are they?
Think of them as like those rising stars in your field.
Okay.
People who are doing amazing work. They might not have millions of followers yet.
So they might be a little more accessible, right?
Exactly. But they're still super influential, and he suggests you reach out, offer something valuable, show them you're genuine about connecting and learning.
It's about building those mutually beneficial relationships.
And to wrap things up, he talks about this guy named Andrew Chen, who moved to Silicon Valley and decided to meet 5 new people every single day for 6 months.
Wow, that's intense.
He built this incredible network that helped skyrocket his success.
It's a testament to the power of consistent networking.
So, to bring it all together, $1 million weekend, it's not just about launching a business, right?
Right.
It's about cultivating that mindset, those skills, the network. You need to build a successful business and life that you're passionate about.
Absolutely.
It's about taking action, embracing those challenges.
It's about believing in yourself.
And building a community.
And never giving up on your dreams.
That's it. That's the message. And, we'd love to hear from you. What resonated with you from this deep dive? What's your freedom number? And what's the one thing you're going to do today to start building that $1 million weekend?